What is the invisible hand of the market, and why is it important for each of us? Dear friends, today I want to tell you about one of the key ideas in economics that helps us understand how our world works, the concept known as the invisible hand of the market. This idea may seem complicated at first glance, but once you understand it, it will open your eyes to how the economy works and why it is so important for each of us. What is economics and why is it necessary? Before we get to the point, let's take a moment to understand what economics is. Economics is the study of how people use limited resources, such as money, labor, and materials, to produce goods and services, and how these goods and services are distributed among the population. Almost everything in our lives, from food to clothing to housing to transportation, depends on the functioning of the economy. Understanding the mechanisms of the economy helps us navigate the world around us and make informed decisions, both as individuals and as participants in the market. Why does the idea of the invisible hand come up? Now, let's move on to the most important part, the concept of the invisible hand. This idea was first formulated by the Scottish economist Adam Smith in the 18th century. He noticed an interesting thing. When each of us tries to earn as much money as possible or achieve our goals, we unwittingly contribute to the overall well-being of society. Let me explain it with a simple example. Imagine that you are the owner of a fruit store. You want to sell as many apples as possible because it brings you profit. To do this, you try to buy the best apples at a good price and offer them at an attractive price. In parallel, there is a farmer who grows apples. He wants to earn as much money as possible, so he tries to grow good apples and sell them at a good price. What happens? Both the seller and the farmer act in their own interest to make money. As a result, the farmer grows good apples to be sold, and the seller offers them at a price that customers like. This creates an invisible hand that guides market participants to produce and offer goods that people really need, and to do so in the most efficient way possible. In the end, we all get fresh apples that reflect the actual costs and demand. Why the invisible hand? This is the name because no one is specifically managing this process. There is no need for the government or anyone else to constantly monitor every seller or buyer. Everything happens automatically as market participants strive for their own benefits and create a balance that serves the interests of society as a whole. It is like an invisible hand guiding everyone to produce what is in demand and do so in the most efficient way. Why is this important? Now, it's important to understand that it's because of this invisible hand that the economy can function so well without constant intervention from above. When everyone or every company acts in their own self-interest, the market regulates itself. Prices change, new products emerge, and unprofitable ones disappear. This helps to ensure the availability of goods and services because the market tends to produce what people need. Competition that drives up quality and lowers prices. The asterisk innovation. New ideas and technologies are emerging to attract customers and make money. What are the limitations of the invisible hand? Of course, it's not perfect. In real life, there are situations where the market doesn't work well on its own. For example, in the case of monopolies, where a single company controls the market and can set inflated prices, or in the case of external factors like environmental pollution or crises that require government intervention. But the general idea is that for most cases, the market is capable of regulating itself in a way that benefits society, as long as it's not hindered by excessive government intervention or misguided policies. Why does the government sometimes intervene? Sometimes, the government imposes regulations to correct situations where the market is not functioning properly. For example, to protect the environment, ensure the safety of goods, or combat monopolies. However, the ideal role of the government is not to control everything, but to create an environment where the invisible hand can operate effectively. So, why does it matter to you, the average person? What does all this mean for you? First, understanding that the economy is a complex yet self-organizing system helps you understand why prices change, why there are choices, and why some goods are available and others are not. Second, it highlights the importance of competition and entrepreneurial freedom. These factors enable the market to function effectively and benefit everyone. And finally, it teaches us that even if we don't directly engage in business or economics, our decisions, purchases, and even how we vote in elections have an impact on the economic system and, through it, on our future. Conclusion. To sum it up, The idea of the invisible hand of the market is a metaphor that helps us understand how the market operates without centralized control. It shows that when everyone acts in their own self-interest, it can lead to the common good. While there may be occasional need for adjustments and regulation, this idea is the cornerstone of modern economics and the foundation for a more prosperous world. I hope this explanation has helped you understand why the market is so important and how it works, even if we can't see it directly. This is the magic of the invisible hand that guides us all towards a better future.